Nobody warned you that loving a narcissist feels like abuse. It feels like true love. It feels like devotion. It feels like you finally found the person you're supposed to spend the rest of your life with. Until one day, you look at yourself in the mirror and you have no idea the person who's staring back at you. That's not an accident. That's called the slow kill. And I've been through it myself. Today, I'm going to show you exactly how the slow kill works. For those of you, if it's your first time, I welcome you. For those of you, if you're back, as always, welcome back. My name is Joe. I'm a life, business, and relationship coach, as well as a narcissistic survivor. The one thing I notice is when people think about abuse, they think about something obvious, something you could point to, something with physical evidence. But narcissistic abuse, especially if you've been through it, you know it doesn't leave that kind of mark. But that's what can make it so dangerous sometimes. Sometimes there's no crime scene. Sometimes there's no wounds. Sometimes it's behind the scenes and in the dark that nobody else can see. And then you start to doubt that the abuse is even happening in the first place. You're always exhausted, but you can't explain why. You're always anxious, even when nothing bad is happening. You've stopped laughing the way you used to, and you've stopped making plans with friends. You've stopped being you, slowly. And here's the thing that I learned that I need you to understand. It didn't happen because there's something wrong with you. It happened because you were loving someone who was feeding off of you, and your body was keeping that score. So let's talk about the 3 ways that this actually can kill you emotionally, because it's not just one thing. It's an entire system, and when you see it laid out, it'll all start to make sense. There's actually a name for it when you're living in a constant state of walking on eggshells. It's called chronic stress activation. Your fight or flight system, the one that's supposed to be protecting you, actually gets stuck on the on position 24/7. Cortisol starts to flood your body every single day. Your immune system starts to break down. You get autoimmune reactions. I myself got a case of alopecia. You stop sleeping. You start getting sick more often. You develop anxiety, headaches, stomach problems, symptoms that your doctor treats. But nobody actually connects these symptoms back to him or her. Your nervous system isn't designed to be in survival mode 24/7. But when you're in love with a narcissist, that's exactly where it lives. You're not dramatic. You're dysregulated. There's a big difference. This next one is the one that tends to sneak up on everybody, myself included. You didn't wake up one day and decide to stop trusting your own instincts. You didn't choose to become someone who apologizes just for existing. That happened slowly over time. Every time you were gaslit, you handed over a piece of reality. Every time you twisted yourself into a pretzel just to keep the peace, you told your brain one thing: my feelings don't matter here. And maybe not literally, but subconsciously. And after months or even years of this, you don't even know what you like anymore. You don't know who your real friends are. You don't trust your own gut. You end up becoming the only supporting character in your own life. And the narcissist planned it that way. Because a person who's lost is the easiest person to control. Here's one no one talks about enough. You stop dreaming. Maybe you haven't even realized it yet, but somewhere along the way, you stopped making plans that were just for you. Stop believing that maybe you deserve life a little better than you have it now. You started shrinking your expectations from goals to just being able to survive the day. And that's when I noticed I had a huge problem. That's unfortunately what it looks like when someone's being used as fuel, and now their tank is on empty. And I know what some of you are probably thinking right now, because I thought the same exact thing. If it's that bad, how come I haven't left yet? Here's the thing. None of you deserve the treatment that you're currently experiencing. But on the other end, and you may not realize this, you were actually designed to stay in the relationship. That love bombing in the beginning, the person that did everything for you and it was everything you can dream of, that wasn't real romance. That was installation. It literally wired you to that person. And that's exactly what a trauma bond is. It's not weakness, it's neuroscience. Some of us that had a traumatic childhood are built a little differently. So if any of you have, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Then after the love bombing stopped, the cycle kicks in. Tension, explosion, apology, honeymoon, over and over and over and over again. But each time, it gets a little worse. Problem is, every single time they show up with warmth and love bombing, your brain switches on and says, see, this is why I stay. This is the version that's real. I've been there. Problem is, you realize after a while that love bombing person that you want them to be, unfortunately, isn't the real person. You're not crazy. You're chemically attached. And breaking that bond, believe it or not, takes a lot more work than people say. So how do we break the cycle? Well, it's not anger, it's not revenge, not even no contact. Well, sort of no contact, but not really. It's called radical indifference. It's the moment you decide you're going to genuinely stop being their fuel. The moment their words, their silence, their tantrums, their charms stop landing inside of you and just kind of pass through you, completely irrelevant. No emotional attachment. Not because you're cold, but because you've literally reclaimed your center. Most people don't realize that narcissists could not survive without your reaction. And the moment you take that back, the whole dynamic collapses. Your silence and your emotional energy is still a reaction to them. The moment you do that, your nervous system begins to start regulating again. Your identity starts to come back online. Piece by piece, you start dreaming again. Start doing things that you like. Start hanging out with old friends. You start trusting that voice inside you that they spent years trying to mute or said was stupid. Listen, you're not alone. Like I said before, I've been there before. And the fact that you're able to love that deeply, even for someone that didn't deserve it, says everything about your heart. Your weakness is not your heart. And the damage they did to you, don't dismiss it. It was real. It did happen, and it's okay. But it's also reversible. You're not broken. The fact that you're here means you're waking up, and that's the beginning of everything. Appreciate you guys for joining me for another weekly video. Remember to like and subscribe for weekly videos on narcissism and rebuilding your self-worth. Check you on the next video.